Make the strings louder.
So this is a Factory 5 Racing. These are basically fiberglass cars they make their own chassis and all this stuff, but I really want to do something like this, like a JZ or a K, like a Turbo K series, something crazy like that. I've always just liked this older looking stuff. This thing's like freaking perfect looking. They make these cars too, kind of like an exotic looking chassis. Mid-mount, rear mount engine. This one has a turbo LS in it.
I adjusted this seat for myself.
Very sick setup. They also do these little Cobra things. So it's a sick setup.
Oh, that's not bad.
That wasn't bad, right?
That wasn't bad, yeah.
But then, like, getting out, the problem is like when you can't park next to someone
Because the doors
so wide. So what I do is I park somewhere far away where no one can see me look stupid when I crawl out of it. So I do this, guys. So I get this, right? Foot out. Go here. Go here. Oh, it's
hand on the ground. And then you roll out. Then you roll out. Stop, drop, and roll. And then you roll out. Yeah. I do the same thing when you come to Hawaii.
Alright guys, so we are out here. This is day 5 or 6 or however many days we're out here. But this is Friday. This is the last day of Sema. We got here a little bit earlier than we did, the previous days. So what I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about and show you some stuff is kind of top of like automotive YouTubers and sponsors out here at Sema. So pretty much that's what a lot of us out here are for, or are coming to do, is kind of talk to companies and build relationships. And I'm gonna kind of walk around and kind of give you guys a little bit more insight and some tips and tricks, and kind of talk about the relationships and stuff. And you guys kind of go from there. But look at this NSX. This thing's freaking sick. That's sweet. So let's go walk around. 30-inch wheels. This is actually a Chevy GMC, so it actually has a solid axle swap in the front with real drive shafts. Pretty sick looking camper.
Wow.
Get that Holley EFI on there. Sick.
That is cool.
Oh my goodness. Custom. It's all custom.
The color I like this body.
So one of the main things, I guess one of the points is that nobody does anything for free, and especially companies and even us like YouTubers. Like obviously I'm not going to do anything for free. They're not going to do anything for free. So there has to be value on both sides of the fence. And I think YouTubers that do stuff for free are kind of silly. Same thing with companies. Some of them send out free product or things to certain guys, get burned, and then like guys that actually have good programs or good kind of brand stuff established, then when like I try to go talk to a company, they've been burned and they won't even give me the opportunity. And so it's kind of a weird balance of doing that out here at Sema, of like trying to talk to the companies that haven't been burned, and if you do talk to one and try to convince them that you're not going to do that, there's actually a good value there. So that's another kind of important thing. So being an automotive YouTuber, it's really expensive to actually build cars and do all that stuff on your own. And it's really hard to build, like, let's say 4 decent builds a year that there's like $20,000 worth of parts that kind of go into each one. Like my ad rev typically isn't even that much, and I gotta pay Ty, I gotta pay the mortgage at my house, I gotta pay shop rent. I mean, things get really expensive. So when you go to an event like this, or show like this, and you build these brand partnerships, it definitely helps alleviate a lot of stress when it comes to building the cars in certain situations. So sometimes it's stressful, and sometimes you don't have the right brand or the right partnership behind you, or anybody behind you in certain aspects. But yeah, I felt fortunate to work with a lot of companies that I do, and you know, I feel like a lot of the ones that I do work with are kind of best, like the best in the business in their kind of category. There's not too many Civics out here this year, especially like EGs, EKs, but really sick. Ty, what's your favorite car out here?
I'm really paying a whole lot of attention.
Yeah.
There's this EF over here.
Yeah, there's a really clean EF. K-Series full. Engine bay tuck, paint, roll cage, nice clean interior.
This is the ride wire car.
Sick. I like those fuel lines. Those are sweet
All the
looking.
ride wire stuff. The Kevlar lines, whatever.
Yeah. Here is my car out here at the Sema show. We're here in the Connie Wheels booth, and you can see the brands and companies that I've worked with, you know, for a lot of the parts and pieces of the build on here. And what you'll see behind it playing is the YouTube video of me basically building this car. So as far as that went, so I did a 10-minute time lapse of the whole thing, and the video is like a little over 12 million views on it right now. So as far as like a value that I add to a company, it's videos like that. It's like the time lapse videos. It's just me building the car specifically, using these parts and showcasing the parts. And that's where a lot of the companies get their value and stuff in there. So other than Mark 5s and J, not the JKs, what are they?
Gladiator.
The Gladiators. So other than Mark 5s and Gladiators out here, the other thing that we've seen a lot of is Ford Broncos. So
The new one's coming out like next year, that's why.
everybody's building the old ones, but yeah. It's freaking sick.
Everybody's wondering what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Nobody knows. So this is Friday, and pretty much a lot of like the marketing people have kind of left the building, and so that's why I've been busy these previous days, is actually walking around and talking to those guys. Kind of how the relationship works with me, or what that looks like, is like a company will basically send me parts or, you know, discounts or whatever in exchange for me like installing it on the build and video showcasing it. And it's not necessarily about the one thing, it's about the relationship, and it's about, you know, obviously like Turbo by Garrett, like how many cars do I own that all have like the Turbo by Garrett stuff, and you guys have seen them constantly get, you know, used and abused and make big power, and that's kind of like that's just what happens on the channel, is that, you know, you get the right turbos, and, you know, we do D-Works injectors, you know, ECU Master, standalone ECU, BC Racing coilovers, and we just kind of, you know, keep those relationships going. This is a really interesting concept, is the Titan diesel with a dually. Looks like a little Dodge Ram.
Little dually.
Sweet looking 370. So here's a truck that the Diesel brothers built, or Sparks Motors Company. You guys are familiar, you watch Diesel Brothers on Discovery Channel. So basically they have their, you know, TV show, and they're kind of out here doing similar things to us. Like they're working with companies, trying to get like brands to sponsor the builds. The difference between them and me is I feel like I almost have more of an advantage, is because, and I think more of a value, I mean, I think for sure more of a value in certain aspects, just because we're able to like instantly put something out on the internet. Like the other day on my YouTube channel, I accidentally uploaded like a story style post to the YouTube channel, and had like 13,000 views in like 3 or 4 hours, and so that's kind of another benefit. So another thing that I guess when it comes to like brand partnerships and stuff like that, is it's a lot of trust in the, you know, kind of the YouTuber, and to kind of build that relationship and have like a trusting relationship too, to where you're not just like, I'm not going to go to a company that I don't believe in and just take whatever money that they offer me just because they offer me a certain amount of money. It has to be a brand that I believe in, or I think is a good brand that kind of aligns with kind of my views and like my, you know, kind of vision for the build and quality and stuff too. So that's another thing. So if I'm ever working with a company or a sponsor on certain stuff, it's because I actually like the products and the parts and the pieces. So it's not just because they gave it to me for free or you got money for saying something. Obviously there is that type of ads on the channel every now and then, you know, where it's something that doesn't kind of fit in the automotive category, but it's you know, again, a company that I like think will work, or you know, kind of with my viewers and stuff like that. So yeah, again, it's just a major, it's a way different thing like YouTube and TV, but essentially we're trying to do the same things. All right, so this is one of the probably the most anticipated things that I've actually wanted to see here at the show is the Grindhard Plumbing Co. Cinderella. This thing's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Like in the videos, it kind of looks small, but here in person, it's actually really big. So this one has, I believe, a KTM engine in it, or it's a CRF 450. Has a recluse clutch. Got the clutch, I guess, gas, brake, upshift, down, all kinds of stuff on it. But super, super awesome build that I've been following for a long time. They have their Camaro outside too. Yeah, we had dinner with them the other night, and you know, it was definitely one of the things that I was more excited about was come here to take a look at this. Stop by the Milwaukee booth, take a look at some of the stuff they got over here. Again, my stubby impact is probably one of my most commonly used things, as well as the little extended reach flex head, not flex head, ratchets, which are really awesome. Oh, I know, those are the best. They even have a quarter-inch one, yeah. And so one of the things that they came out with recently is electric like die grinder, basically. So do a little cut and grinding. Just crazy to see the whole product line here. They have hand tools, they have a little mini buffer, big buffer, all the underhood lights, soldering iron, heat gun, air compressor, grease gun, caulking gun, just a bunch of just absolutely everything that you'd probably need. So they're constantly trying to do some more stuff with like the automotive industry too. So it's nice to actually see them out here this year because they haven't been out here, and I told them they needed to. So all right, so we're at Sema Electrified. There's a bunch of little electric swapped vehicle type things over here. So this is RWB porch. It's got an electric motor in there. It's like EV West. Pretty sick. This is a Hyundai thing. Come over here. This is actually the world's fastest electric drag race car. It ran a 7-something, I think. It'd be really sick to swap one of these in something. That's just crazy. So I think this like bolts into like where an LT4 typically would.
Is that the...
Alright, so this is what I need to do to my truck. Either put one on the roof or put one over the bed like that. That'd be really sick. The things I've thought about for my truck is actually getting something like this, like a truck bed camper, so that way I could still tow my enclosed trailer. Like obviously like those style things over there are really sick, but you don't have a shower, you don't have a toilet, you don't have an actual like kind of bed. But I think it would be super sick to get like a dually and just have this live on there, and basically every time I go somewhere I just hop in it, and you know, we got a freaking instant RV, so super sick. So now it is the end of the day, and we headed over to the car. I did lower it a little bit the other day, and we were really close to getting it into the trailer, as well as this bumper is pretty low. So we're gonna go ahead and jack up the front of this thing, raise the coilovers just a little bit so that we don't scratch it on anything or rip off the fiberglass front bumper. So pulling the jack out. Ty's gonna try not to... Oh yeah, Ty, there it is. Ooh! That was a good one.
I'm already wearing half this gas tank full of exhaust as he follows. Which supermodel we got, Joe?
All I gotta say is holy crap, there's so many freaking people here. Stick the camera.
This is probably like an eighth of what we've already passed too. Give all these people a little. Everybody just wants to hit the two-step. We don't even have the pop-pop tune on it. This nuts, like this is insane.
I can't believe this. This is like the biggest
Like showcase, single showcase.
I've never been in front of this many people, I guess. Other than the videos.
Yeah. So we're out here, we got rolled into the ignited lot. They're getting everyone filed in. A little bit different than years past. Seemed a little bit more organized, a little bit quicker. So it's pretty crazy.
We just rolled into the Sema Ignited, so a lot of the booth cars and everything pretty much kind of come over here and park. I'm not sure if they let the public come over here and do stuff or not, but some really cool stuff over here. This year, how they're doing the rollout is you do more of a parade around here. There was a really long line of people in that tunnel kind of in between the convention halls, which is really sick. And there's just like, there's so many freaking people out here. It's just insane. Like this whole line is over there, but then over there, there's a whole line. Plus like the stands are just 100% full, which is nuts. So I think a lot of the cars are just gonna kind of roll in here and park. Normally last year they had kind of like the public in here, but this year I don't know if they're letting them physically over here. I know they're gonna be doing a drift demo. This is another guy from Colorado. And that's actually a Lexus LS400 underneath that, but yeah, the car looks pretty sick over here. So yeah, I think we're just gonna kind of walk around, hang out with people, and then eventually go load this thing up. That's sick.
I'm gonna find them to do my job. What'd you say? Yeah, it'll be.
Holy shit. That was pretty crazy. This guy, I think he did a burnout and then probably got something a little hot or a little angry, and it was literally just like dripping and like dripping fire. But as you've seen, everybody ran over here, got her put out. It was still like leaking and on fire, so I'm glad everybody's safe, because that could have got really ugly really fast. It's just crazy because like they don't actually have like a fire people over here, which you wouldn't expect this to happen, but I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, right now. So yeah, you got all the Sema ignited, all the cars are still rolling in, but we're gonna dip out where it gets a little too crazy.
Alright, so driving the Supra back to the hotel parking lot to load it up in the trailer, and it's just basically been a huge line of just cars just absolutely everywhere. It's just like you just sit for 5 or 10 minutes and then you move, and then you move like a block, and then it's just insane. So we were gonna take it out on the strip and drive it up and down, but I don't know. I mean, it's pretty super busy right now, and I mean it's a poor clutch. That's a Fast and Furious like super replica. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for this video. We went out last night a little bit, hung out with a bunch of other YouTubers, and did the observation wheel and a bunch of stuff like that. So had a lot of fun with them. But yeah, Sema is officially over, and we are headed back to Colorado. So yeah, again, you just got to have value pretty much on all sides. And you know, from a YouTuber's perspective, as long as you upload videos and do stuff in your niche, there's plenty of value. And I feel like a lot of companies are still kind of sleeping on the whole YouTube thing. Definitely this year there were a lot more people, like the marketing people at the companies. They were a lot more receptive of, you know, YouTubers and like influencers, even though I don't really like that that thing, you know, kind of that name for like what we do. I think it works for like Instagram people, but more so like YouTube people, like whenever we're just working on our own stuff and building cool stuff. So I think it kind of aligns with our followers and subscribers, you know, the products that we typically use. But yeah, 13-hour drive back to Colorado. Appreciate you guys watching and putting up with my Sema content this week, and we'll get back in the shop and start busting out some builds basically as soon as we get back. I'm going to take a day or two off because this is pretty overwhelming. See you guys later.